It started with a sound she barely noticed, a faint notification chime from her phone that blended with the hum of the refrigerator. Claire was rinsing her coffee mug when it went off, the kind of small digital beep that usually meant nothing. But this time, it did. She reached for the phone without thinking. Her thumb hovered over the screen before she opened the email. The subject line looked ordinary, almost dull. Low balance alert. Ethan's lunch account. It took her a few seconds to understand what she was reading. Low balance? That couldn't be right. She had just funded the account in August, a full $1,000, enough to last through the entire school year with extra to spare. It was October. There should still be hundreds left. 95% of viewers aren't subscribed. Subscribing is free, takes seconds, and makes a real impact. Click subscribe and be part of the growth. Please turn on the bell for more updates. The email was blunt. Current balance, $47.80. She read it twice, certain she'd missed something. Then she just stood there, the warm mug cooling in her hands, staring at the message. The number didn't change, -47. The coffee suddenly smelled bitter. When Ethan came home that evening, the house was calm, the kind of quiet that pretends to be peace. The twins were upstairs, their laughter muffled by closed doors. The TV murmured from the living room. Claire sat at the kitchen counter with her phone in her hand. She waited until Ethan walked in and dropped his backpack by the door. "Hey," she said, her tone casual but edged. "Got a weird email today." He glanced up from untying his shoes. "Yeah? Your lunch account," she said. "It's negative." He looked at her for a second, confused. "That doesn't make sense. You put in 1,000. "I did," she said softly. "And it's gone." The pause stretched. He blinked, then frowned. "I mean, I've been getting breakfast there sometimes. It's easier than rushing at home." "Easier?" Claire repeated. "Breakfast? Every day?" "Yeah," he said, shrugging. "Just something small, a bagel or whatever. I didn't think it'd be that much." "A bagel there is $8, she said. "An energy drink is $5. You've been eating at the café and hitting vending machines every morning. I checked." He looked away, jaw tight. "I didn't know it added up that fast." She exhaled, the disappointment heavy in her chest. "That money was supposed to last until June?" He said nothing. The quiet settled between them like dust. That night, after everyone went to bed, Claire opened her laptop and logged into the school's portal. The list of charges filled the screen like a confession. Each line carried a date, time, and small dollar amount that told its own story. Pastries, bottled drinks, wraps, snacks, energy shots. Every school day since the semester began. She scrolled through the weeks, the total rising, her stomach tightening. He'd burned through $900 in 2 months. Claire sat back, staring at the screen. She thought of the day she'd made the deposits. She'd gathered all 3 kids in the kitchen and explained the new system clearly. "This money is for lunch only. It needs to last all year." They'd nodded. Even Ethan. Patient. Responsible Ethan. The one who had saved for months to buy his own computer last summer. She'd trusted him. And maybe that was the part that stung most. Not the money, but the easy confidence with which she'd believed he could handle it. The next morning, she waited until he came downstairs, sleepy and distracted, a granola bar in hand. The kitchen was filled with the cold light of early dawn. "Ethan," she said quietly, "we need to fix your account." He gave a short nod. "Yeah, I'll stop buying breakfast there." "That's not enough," she said. "You're going to pay for the rest of the year yourself." He froze, halfway to the door. "What?" "You heard me," she said. "You have a job. You have savings. I'm not giving you more money for that account. If you want to eat at school, you'll cover it." He stared at her, disbelief mixing with anger. "You're serious?" "I'm serious." He shook his head slowly. "That's not fair." "Neither was wasting $1,000, she said, her voice calm but final. He said nothing. He just picked up his backpack and left without another word. That evening, he didn't come home for dinner. His phone went straight to voicemail. Claire didn't panic. She knew he'd probably gone to work at the electronics store. But she felt the silence around her stretching thin. The twins noticed too. One of them asked if Ethan was in trouble. She told them no. The next few days passed in uneasy quiet. Ethan packed lunches from home, mostly leftovers or sandwiches. The cafe charges stopped entirely. He still wouldn't talk much. When Friday arrived, Claire received a text from her ex-husband. "Ethan told me you're making him pay for school lunch." "Seriously?" She didn't respond at first. Later, she wrote back, "He spent it. He fixes it." The reply came quick. "He's a kid, Claire. Let it go." She stared at the message for a long time before setting the phone down. Let it go. That was easy to say from the outside. That night, after the kids went to bed, Claire stood in the kitchen alone. The hum of the refrigerator filled the space again, soft and constant. She looked at the lunchbox sitting by the sink, the one she used to pack for Ethan when he was little. It was metal, scratched at the corners, a superhero logo fading from years of use. Back then, he used to complain if she forgot to cut the crust off his sandwiches. Now he barely looked at her. A week later, she noticed something new in the account, a deposit. $50. Not from her, from him. He'd used his own money. The sight made her chest tighten with something complicated, pride mixed with sadness. She hadn't expected him to do it that quickly. He'd gone to work, probably picked up an extra shift, and paid it off without a word. At dinner that night, she didn't mention it. The twins chatted about a school project. Ethan ate quietly, eyes down. The air between them was polite, thin, fragile. She almost broke the silence, but didn't. Days became weeks. The school year rolled on. The balance stayed stable. No new alerts, no surprises. But something in the rhythm of the house had changed. Ethan had grown careful, not just with money, but with everything. He packed his own lunches now, made his own breakfast, drove himself to school. He stopped asking for cash entirely. One afternoon, Claire stopped by the electronics store after work. She hadn't planned to. It was just on her way home. Through the window, she saw him restocking shelves, his uniform polo tucked in neatly. He looked older somehow, focused, tired in a way that seemed new. She didn't go in. She just watched for a moment, then turned back to her car. At home, the house was quiet again. The twins were doing homework. The light through the window caught the edge of the kitchen table, the same place she'd once set down her laptop to check that account. For a moment, she imagined that email popping up again, that sinking feeling of disbelief. Then she shook it off. Winter came early that year. The mornings were darker, colder. She noticed Ethan started leaving earlier for school, sometimes before anyone else was awake. Once, she caught him slipping out, thermos in hand, a packed lunch under his arm. He didn't see her watching from the stairs. On Christmas morning, the house smelled of cinnamon rolls and pine. The kids unwrapped gifts while music played softly in the background. When it was Ethan's turn, he opened a small envelope from Claire. Inside was a handwritten note and a single folded receipt, a confirmation that his lunch account had been refilled for the next semester. He looked up slowly, uncertain. She smiled faintly. "It's covered. Don't overdo it this time." He nodded once. "I won't." It wasn't an apology. It wasn't forgiveness. Just an exchange, brief, unspoken, enough. Months passed. The snow melted, spring crept into the air, and life in the house found its rhythm again. Ethan was busier than ever. School, work, practices, always moving. The balance stayed steady. By May, the whole thing had faded into memory. Claire barely thought about it anymore. Until one afternoon, she got a call from the school's office. Her stomach dropped at the sound of the number on the screen. But when she answered, the voice on the other end was cheerful. "Just letting you know," the woman said. "Ethan's account is still in good standing. He's one of the few students who never missed a payment this semester. Claire laughed quietly, more from relief than anything else. "That's good to hear." She hung up and stood by the window for a long moment, watching the soft wind move the leaves outside. That night, Ethan came home late from work, hair tousled, shoes muddy. He grabbed a snack from the fridge and leaned against the counter. Claire watched him for a moment before speaking. "You're doing all right?" He looked up. "Yeah. Why?" She smiled faintly. "You just seem older lately." He shrugged, a small grin tugging at the corner of his mouth. "Guess I had to be." She didn't answer. She didn't need to. The house grew quiet again, but this time it didn't feel heavy, just still. Later that night, when everyone was asleep, Claire sat alone in the dim kitchen, phone in hand. She scrolled through her old emails until she found it, the one from months ago, the one that had started everything. Low balance alert. She hovered over it, then deleted it without opening it. She hovered over it, then deleted it without opening it. In the morning, sunlight spilled across the kitchen floor, warm and soft, like the beginning of something ordinary. Thanks for watching Story Frame. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more updates. See you in the next video.